What's going on, y'all? My name is Christopher Life Willers, and this is the Stay Free Show, where every single day I get an opportunity to come up here and speak about topics that impact us. But on Fridays, I bring some guests up. I bring some impactful voices, some people with stories. And as a matter of fact, before I get further into the night's conversation, because you might have seen them already on some of your social media platforms, brother, can you please go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
Oh, what's up, everybody? So my name's Patrick, but everybody calls me Packy. And with what he was just referring to, it's Packy Visions TV. So that's where that comes from. It's my name since I was a little kid.
That's what I was going to ask. Can you give us where you from? Are you Midwest? Or you west? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from
Midwest. I'm from Chicago. That's why I kind of.
okay.
You're from Midwest,
I'm in Ohio. Yeah, North.
Ohio. I'm headed to Ohio. I got to go to London Correctional Center to go speak there
Mm,
next month. I think it's London,
okay.
something like that. Yeah, yeah,
London.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, cool. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, man. So look, Packy, you're on social media. You're doing some things. You're using the platform. How long have you been home now, man?
24 months as of December 4th, which was my daughter's birthday, because I got out
That's fire.
early, which was supposed to be December 5th. I took a 6-week course, try to push for that, day, and I got it. That 6 weeks was worth that one day because I got out on my daughter's ninth birthday, and now she just had her 11th birthday.
How'd that feel when you got out, bro? I always got it. That's got to be like on the birthday too. Did you surprise her? Did she know?
Now she knew we wanted to, but we couldn't hold back
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
anticipation. But yeah, it was 7 years of Christmases, birthdays, and I know how it is, like
yeah.
longer than me. It was
Bro, what
exciting.
I want to ask you then right off top, man, because we were talking a little bit before we got up here, think more blessings with the family and all that. Give a message to the fathers that are coming home right now from prison, man, especially during the Christmas. You came home in December. Like, what's some encouraging words or some thoughts that you want to give them real quick, man?
I'm sure they know already. Don't take nothing for granted. Once you've already experienced that, you realize I want to just tell people to remember those nights where you was laying in the rack just wondering like what was going. And this is strictly for, like you said, people come home from prison.
Hmm.
Days that you just look at the photos, you have a sucker attack, you're laying there thinking like, what's going on at the house? What's my kids doing? What's my woman doing? Just man, I'd lay there and think, why did I do this and this? Just crazy. And really just keep that in the, don't try not to forget that. That's one thing this has helped me is talking about prison. Becoming a prison content creator has helped me not allow it to become out of sight, out of mind. It's keeping it relevant.
I'm glad you said that too, man. Because I always get it too. They're like, yo, bro, how you talk about prison every single day? What's your perspective on it, man? What's your answer to that? Because you up here, you're creating content, you're using a platform, and that's after doing time like behind the wall. Like you volunteering to go back in the fire almost.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that because I get the comment all the time. They'll say, "Why would you want to talk about it, think about it?" But I felt like, well, once I started doing this, it was actually just it happened because I had like one video get 1 million views, and I wasn't even a content creator, so it just
Nice.
randomly went viral.
That's
We
fire.
meal, a prison meal, and I just added a Kevin Gates song. We just cooked a meal, but that happening made me realize like, okay, this might work. And then went one podcast, two podcasts. This is actually my sixth one. So like of some other people will probably know who they were, but like that's how that happened. But at first a lot of people was like, why would you want to do that? Or hey, I think they were just hating or preying on my downfall. But then as things kept happening, I realized that it don't matter what people think because it's working for me, my family. It's helping us, and I'm getting something out of it. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm venting or counseling. You know what I mean? Like talking
Bro,
about.
that's all I do. Like that's what it started. I When I first started posting, I was going through a full on like episode.
Really.
Like straight, I was mentally, I was gone, man. And I was in a cabin. It was my birthday. We were in a cabin. Me and the wife had got to arguing, and randomly I'm standing on the balcony or whatever, and I do a TikTok, and it just says POV, you come home after 17 years, and it's the pandemic, da 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 da. And it went crazy, but it made me feel good because I was just trying to throw my pain out there in any way I could because I felt like nobody else could hear me. And then I found people, you know.
Right. So it
Yeah,
got where you attached, well, once you was doing that, eventually that algorithm, I'm sure, found you, and you're like, okay, these are the people that want to hear my stories, or been through the same things and struggles in life, right? Is that what you kind of was saying at first? You was just kind of whatever happens happens. Did you ever
yeah.
think big?
No, no. I mean, no, no. Not on the internet. I felt like I could be successful for sure, like in whatever way. I think I thought I was going to work in the warehouses for the rest of my life or something. But um, a few people had told me they were like, you know, you should speak, you should get up there on the internet. But I, you do 17 years in prison, and then I don't know how old you are. At the time when I came home, I was 36. You know,
35.
30. So it's like look kind of older. It's like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's the younger it's TikToks and all that. So, but man, once those people found me, yeah, I kept going and you know, doors open, which I see your pages are growing. What do you tell people that you know want to be a voice or maybe have some hesitation with it? Because it could be daunting getting out there on social media, man. Everybody doesn't support the prison content creator.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I mean, right. Matter of fact, I'm nervous right now to do this, and I just said this sixth time doing this with like at least half of those other ones were pretty, up there like yours is too. So, and even on the smaller ones, it's just I still get those little like almost like weird butterflies. But the thing is, I feel like I've always been so uh like comfortable with people. See, my fiance was just telling me that, saying, you were almost, not, I wouldn't say made to do this, but perfect for this, or like you have a way with people. I've always been like a people person. I,
Mhm.
like you said, the ADD thing with people dealing with stuff. I got a chemical imbalance. Some of my mental health is bipolar type 2. I have real extreme highs and lows. But
Yep.
like, in the good mood, I can talk to anybody. I'm hyper. I damn near got to tell myself to relax. So I think that plays into this. Like if I'm feeling it and I put the phone on the ring light and I start thinking, I'll hammer out videos, and then it works. But then there's days where I don't even want to pick up and get on at all. So
I can relate, man. I'm type 1, right? And
and yeah.
I thug it out like to the best of my ability.
Hmm.
And some days it's a fight, man. My house burned down the beginning of this year. And that January 23rd, we back in it now, but house gone. And I posted that day. Like I was just disciplined enough to like just stick to the plan. And
Yeah.
in a lot of ways I felt like, not saying I wanted, but it kept me going. It kept, you know what I'm saying, the motor running. But it was grueling, man. I get it.
I mean, that I get that too. I would have probably did that too, because this is becoming like your community, your second life. So
Mhm.
I do know, and I get that. I try to blend my real life with my social media life so that people can feel like they're a part of it. And I got with permission with her, I said, if we do this, we gotta set all of our accounts public, and we gotta like and literally have our life is gonna be under a microscope. Do you
Yeah,
sure you want to do this? And she said, yeah. I said, let's see how far we could take it.
yeah,
Maybe eventually make our life go to another step. And she agreed, I agreed, and ever since then we've done it. So even like the personal things I get on here and talk about, or just letting people have a glimpse into what's going on in our household and stuff. Uh, and that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's
yeah,
also stuff. I
yeah.
mean, I was talking about things that aren't very glamorous, and people, especially in the prison world, don't wouldn't like. But I've done it, and it brought the opposite. I got a lot of support. Like thousands of people the next day was telling me, hey, I really like you for how you have no filter and you don't try to lie to us.
Mhm. That's the key though. If you're sincere, like if you're just you, I tell people all the time, it translates. Your people will find you. And then, yo, the internet changes lives, man. Like a lot of times people give it a bad rap, and I get it. There's plenty of negativity, all that, but you can utilize a platform and do something positive with it and change your family's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's a blessing, man. But
Perfect.
I wanted to ask you real quick because I didn't get to. When did you start Packy Visions TV?
Okay, so yeah, that is cool you asked that. I don't know if a lot of people know this. When we first did this, I had my own account, she had her own account, and we were sharing a Facebook, and then we decided to share them all and called it Finally Free Family Life. And I don't we just I just came up with it at
Hey,
home, you know what I mean?
right.
It worked, and that video went viral. That was it. And then
Fire.
real cringy level 10, and called it That One Couple, spelled WON. That was the next name. So it was a couples thing, sharing all our funny little trending couple, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on a separation. Unfortunately, I was staying with my cousin Stevie for a while, and then we got back together. And after that, and shout out to him, by the way, for that.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I ended up we decided to do our own thing. So I created my own, and she kept the one she had, which we built
Yeah.
up. Okay. But at this point, I just said, well, I'm going to make my own now and let her have that one. You know, it was her.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it came in. It was my name, Packy. Since I was a little kid, they called my dad that. So they started calling me Little Packy. And then the vision is literally what we just talked about. I was like, well, I'm going to try to make this something. So this is that. And my visions is like, as in you're watching TV or a podcast. That's where the TV come from. So, like,
That's
what?
that's fire. No, that's fire. I was
Okay.
gonna say that's how I know you're gonna be like your brand a year from now is gonna be off because people don't understand that part. Like sometimes you gotta repivot, reinvent, rebrand, and when I see people like that, yeah, because that's how I think I started off the real prison talk, then the 100 TV, then Life Unit, and then I just went to my name or whatever. But yeah, that's fire though, bro.
And I've found you since you've been doing this, your name plus the stay free, and it's been a while, so I didn't know how long. How long have you been, or when was that when you were doing that?
Oh, I went full time um March of 2023 with
That's
social media. March of 2023 I did a
okay.
post and it did like 2 million and I quit my job. I talked to my wife and we just jumped out there. We're
Yeah,
crazy people. Um
I
and
like that.
just yeah, man, just kept going and that's it, bro. Like I get to do this full time now, and
Yeah,
it's a blessing. So,
I was. Yeah, I like that, man.
what were you about to say?
Oh, nothing. I was just talking to another creator about that. Jay Williams. I think you guys have spoke before. We
Yeah,
became.
VA. Yep.
Yeah, he told me you guys have spoke, and
Yeah.
he said these same encouraging things. We did an interview together, and now we hang out from time to time on live.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like
man.
that was
Yo, a
dope.
lot of us are cool, man. A lot of us connect and support each other. That's what a lot of people probably don't know about the prison content creators. Like we network behind the scenes, we support each other. Shout out to Jay Williams. Shout out to
That,
Ian Vick. Ian's like, yo, come up here. You can use my set. Blah blah blah. That's a blessing.
hell
Um,
yeah.
all the individuals, man. So if you have a message and you trying to get something out there and do some content, yo, do it. We out. We invite y'all. Come on, come on. You know what I'm saying?
It's
What?
crazy that because I was actually gonna go there too, but I was on
Yeah.
JD Delay got a hold of me on a random comment one time and said he found my video and he said, let's get you on Ian. And then I talked to Ian, but I told him, yo, I gotta wait like a year. I'm on parole. And then after that we just lost contact. So
Well, let me see if I can reconnect you over
it
there real quick.
would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. No, I'm serious because again, I think I did Ian. I got on Matt Cox, and then it was another one. Trapping Anonymous, man, Chris Styles and them. They used to be the Source magazine, bro. But yeah, get on those podcasts, keep doing them. Hmm?
Is that where it all started for you? Like if that's what pushed you to feel like you could really take this serious?
Man, so once that video, I had went viral like two times before then, but I never stayed on the internet. Once that last video went viral, I was already done. Like I didn't want to keep working in the factory. Um, and then from there, I started taking chances. I hit the road. I went and networked. I went to events. Did the interviews. Drove to Connecticut back from Atlanta. Drove to Brooklyn back, and really sacrificed. You know what I'm saying, to build a brand for about a year and a half strong. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay, so that's how it all. Yeah, you just decided. gonna do it and really do it and not. That's what I think a lot of people do is they want this, but they ain't willing to like put the time and the effort in. Well, they are, but they think they are, and it feels right. But then come time, it's crunch time, and they just slowly drift off. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I post 3 times a day, and I'm talking my TikTok. I'm pretty sure is shadow. You know what? I don't think I heard it's bad to say that. Like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but I think it is. I get on there. I have like 4, 5, 6, 7 people in there, 8 people. You know what I mean? So I've hit a brick wall, but I keep pushing. I ain't
Bro,
just
keep going. I'm telling you, we all go through that. You know what I'm saying? We all go through those moments, but I'm telling you, keep going. Honestly, you're gonna be straight, like just organically. Trust me, man. And spread out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just emphasis on all the platforms because I tell people all the time, I post a video here, it might only do 2,000 views, and then on this platform, it'll do 1 million. Like,
that's what I said before too. I do all 4 at once.
yep,
FIT, and IG, and sometimes it's the same thing. One gets good, the other 3 don't. Hey, that's 4 chances that it's gonna go viral. You know.
facts. Facts, man. Um, and I see our questions in the chat, man. We get into the prison content creators. Somebody said, oh, somebody said, where do you envision your platform going to 5 years from now?
To me,
Yeah,
oh okay. Uh, I couldn't even know I could see those. My bad, y'all. I see it now, but so definitely would in a always in a positive light, no glorifying, like you say, like a couple people. We all want to make sure that's the thing. I don't want people looking at it like we're making it sound cool. Once I've established that and I get to a larger place, I want to do like interviews for people, but I also don't want to talk about prison. I'm gonna be honest for the rest of my time. I want to switch to like
smart.
conspiracy theories, horror, true crime, and like paranormal while doing interviews on people from prison. So like COs, staff,
That's
people
fire.
came home. That's the interviews. But I don't really want to pick the phone up and talk about prison every day myself. I'll let that part be for other people's stories. When I do videos, I want to find like true crime things or scary paranormal things, and then eventually I want to have like my own studio where it's in person. That's kind of where I'm taking this.
That's fire.
In the meantime, I'm just working with what I got and going with the flow, you know.
Bro, I was working from a broke iPhone 11 for like the first, all my millions of views was coming off that raggedy phone, man. You know what I'm saying? I can
Mm.
definitely see you venturing out into other categories. That's something I want to get into family stuff, and then I want to get into like the actually journaling and vlogging. Um, you know,
Okay,
yeah, I want to get into that, man. I got a great opportunity with one of my favorite journalists, YouTube vloggers, you know, coming up and getting ready to do some stuff tomorrow, as a matter of, or Monday, here in Atlanta. So yeah, I feel you, man. You want to transition into different spaces, and I think we should reinvent ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Not always stay. You know, at least I'm gonna say for me, I can't stay forever here.
I know.
Um,
I feel like we can only talk about so much, but we can still guide other people. That's what I was gonna say. Is
absolutely.
be able to reach kids like the bad kids that are getting in trouble, going to juvie, tattoos, being a part of any kind of gang life, organizational world. They think that's cool. I want to try to like at least try to talk to them if I can, even if I only help a couple people. But I don't want my whole thing. It's kind of becoming like it's just enveloping my thoughts, like all day prison, prison, prison. So it's kind of feels like it could be dangerous to my mental health.
Watch your mental health, man. I'm gonna tell you something. When I started traveling and going into the prisons and doing content and speaking, I remember my wife early on calling me, like making sure I was okay, because she was like, "Yo, you looked a little too comfortable." So I
Mm.
mean, just pay attention to it, man. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff that we look at to create the content can be triggering itself. You know,
Yeah,
what's on
yeah.
it. And I want to ask you this because you just spoke about the youth. We were having a conversation yesterday,
Mhm.
and we're in a time right now where it's not just the kid that's coming from, you know, the worst of the worst part of the city and all this. We're in a time now where it's kids from the suburbs, you know, jumping off the block. I just had a son, and there was a time where you could be, oh, we grew up in the suburbs, we don't, but no, it's not like that anymore. What do you think is driving young people to live that lifestyle that leads them into, you know, a bad spot? Because it seems like things are elevating.
Man, it's okay. So honestly, I feel like it probably ties into like music and things they're seeing, and it's because things are making it seem cool nowadays. So, and then the whole suburbs thing, it's like I've actually seen that and heard that too. Like there's suburbs to Cleveland, right? You know, I'm in Warren City, which is Youngstown, and then you got Akron and Cleveland. We're all up here in the north of Ohio, but like there's areas outside of here that are becoming, you know, more crime ridden kind of hood, but they're really not. They're
Right.
actually like, but they want it to be. So it's like the kids, they're glamorizing it, glorifying it, and thinking, man, I want to be like this and this, all these rappers and shit that they're seeing. And, you know, they're just emulating that. But it's crazy because the crime really is kind of spreading out. Like you're hearing about on a
Yeah.
lot of areas that you didn't before. And it's, yeah, it's right there. But
And
what
you, hmm?
the question. I was just saying, what was we going with that? Like
Just
asking me.
what I mean, the first part you just spoke to the reason, but what's a message you want to give the youth direct? You know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
to go off a video I just did a stitch to the other day of a dude saying, if you think you're tough and you keep doing the shit you're doing, go lock yourself in the bathroom and just don't come out for 1 to 3 years, but let people bring everything to you. He said, I mean, even if you did that for 3 days, I want people to realize that your actions have reactions. So we don't think of that. I know I didn't, right? Everything I was doing, ripping and running, I started acting like that 14, 15 years
Yeah,
old.
me too.
I was at the county like 13 times and then juvie once. And then I did my prison bid at 27. Somehow I had just luck with me, you know? I mean, I don't know. And, like, you know, that happened. But what I'm saying is, the way I was acting, I'm surprised it lasted that long because people you don't think in the future. You're just living in the moment. When I was laying in prison for 7 years, I was sitting there thinking, like, damn, not only could I got longer time and more times, but it wasn't worth it. So I just want people to see this type of shit and put it into perspective next time they go to think of something like, well, I watch, you know, Chris and Pac's channel and all they talk about is prison and this shit was crazy looking and corny looking. So why would I want to risk doing it? But it sounds so cliche to say that because it's really hard to feel like everybody's really gonna do that. I guess I gotta have a little bit more hope in the fact that people will actually be touched by that. You know, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
nah, they will, bro. Young and for real, the youth want to be connected. They want to hear from us, man, and not because we're like better, just because we're human. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
we can use our the things that we went through in our past to connect and tell them from a real place. And I know when I talk to these youngins, man, I've never had a bad interaction. They always sat down and listened. I'm not saying everybody applied, but the internet's been a key tool in that, man. But
yeah.
I want to ask because you kind of touched on this in the beginning too, like very, very vaguely and briefly. But what are some things people don't think about that you got to deal with in prison? Like it could be somebody mentioned earlier when we were having a conversation, the lights. They said all the lights were a certain tone and yellow. He went into a full breakdown. But what are some things people sometimes don't think about that really impact you on the inside?
I definitely remember that. I just was remember thinking of that earlier, messing with this ring light, and it turns yellow and it turns white, pick it up and down. I know you remember
Yeah,
that, and you would
yeah,
get a you know, get a cell. Sometimes you go in there and it's like, oh, you see that light, and you're like, that's my new existence for the next however long I live in here. I got to look at this crazy yellow light in my face. Um, but it's something else, man. I would say if you're not good with people, you're not like crowds, you're not gonna like that. It's so many people, it's wait to go everywhere. Hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. There's a line for this, there's a line for that. Now it's a spider web off of that. Think about every line. It's usually a lot of hard heads, you know, knuckleheads. So now we're all waiting for this, but next thing you know, somebody's trying to cut somebody.
yep.
Just everything. It's all drama, really, you
Yeah.
know.
There's
The
anxieties attached to everything, bro. The microwave line. Somebody will mess the microwave line up and it could be threat con level 8. Not necessarily but now you're in a the phones. The
yeah,
holiday seasons with the phones. Like,
bad.
yeah, in VA, we didn't have phones. Like now a lot of people got phones. We were still using the wall phones in VA because they light you up out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just bad, bro.
I started out using just wall phones, and my 2 years into my seven, they came with these massive boxes and passed out tablets. I was the first round of people in
Oh, that's a blessing.
2019. It was. I went down to 17, strictly wall phones in the old school kiosk. But then when they brought those, it was a game changer. So my last 5 years was like laying in the rack on the tablet, talking on the phone, and that really changed a lot of stuff.
I'm sure.
I think we got a lot of things other prisons don't got too, like exclusive. I was talking to Joe Guerrero one time
Mhm.
after prison. Shout
Mhm.
out to him too for now, and he said, "Man, you just named like 15 things that I would never."
Yeah, we never. Well, when I was in, we didn't have. That would have been a blessing right there. Be able to sit on the tablet or whatever. And what
You didn't have at all.
we had the JP5s. They was, but we
Yeah,
couldn't do anything but listen to music. I think they had some like games on there or something. Like they didn't have nothing. Hmm?
for the email, right?
Emails too. Yep. You hook up to the kiosk. You know what I'm saying? But we did video. They brought video visits in like 6 months before I went home, and they was figuring out it was glitchy. You had to go to the visitation room. It was crazy. I don't know, man. Different.
Yeah. So, uh,
Well, how was your?
uh,
You said it helped you. Oh, my fault. What were you about to say?
I was just with what you asked me. I felt like I keep giving like these half-ass answers. My mind's all over the place, but I'm trying to
Man,
stick with
no,
it.
you definitely in there, and you got me thinking about some other things too. So I'm jumping around, but I want to ask you. You said it helped you, and one of the things I touch on whenever I got the brothers up here, the sisters, is the mental health aspect after prison. Was it easy for you transitioning home after 7 years? Was it difficult? What was that like? Because a lot of people they going through that.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it all out there. That was the hardest thing. My girl just told me a few weeks ago we were on live, and she said it right around that time. So I let everybody know, and it was. She said, "I'm really proud of you because you've changed a lot, and I want people to really hear this message." She said, "What I'm telling you, because when you first came home, you were really strange with being paranoid, and you were kind of like scary and aggressive. Not towards her. She was saying my language, the way I act, the way I would this and that, kind of too much." And she said, "Do you remember when you stashed all the pocket knives and pipes and stuff around the backyard and the porch and in here in the house?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "And you screwed the window shut in the dining room because it wouldn't lock. Remember?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot about that." And it just bugged me out because she was reminding me that like
Yeah,
that lock, it's fixed now, but I screwed it shut. It was paranoia,
yeah,
constant door. But see, a lot of people don't know when I was 6, I had a home invasion too at 96. And then some other stuff was going on that year too with my female babysitter. So at age 6, I had two really crazy things happen. And I think it
right.
fired my brain.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
paranoid thing, and I had night terrors too. To touch on what you just said, I actually had 3 videos go viral that were my security cameras in my room, and I'm having these night terrors. And then one day she goes, "You know how you keep waking up, freaking out, and I have to calm you down and shit?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, we could actually go back and watch those." I'm
mm,
like, "Yeah, right." So we
yeah.
did it. And then I started posting them. Mostly everybody, of course, made fun of me, but the ones that were supportive were seeing that I was having like trauma, like it's a form of PTSD.
No question. That's that trauma that you hit it right on the head, man. Anybody watching this, and shout out to everybody on TT and everywhere else. Um, a lot of us end up in prison because of the trauma we dealt with is when we were young and we didn't process it. You know what I'm saying? And then you hit on that part, and then we go through more trauma in prison, and we come home. I can definitely relate to the night terrors. They become less, but I was telling a brother one time. I said in prison you have dreams, and then you wake up and you're in prison, and you think you're free, and that's horrible. I said out here, at least if you have nightmares, you wake up and you're free. You
Wow,
know?
that's deep.
Yeah,
That's actually so deep. I've thought of it like I've thought of that kind of in a different words, but the way you just put that and worded that was really crazy and deep because that's so relatable, man. And like mine have came to be about once a month, and it used to be 3, 4 times a week. Might
yeah,
have a month now, so they do go away. Like
yeah,
I'm still normal now, but I'm 2 years home, and I would say
yeah,
I've only felt like this for 6 months. So for like a year and a half, I was scared to go places, paranoid of my friends. They're wanting to come hang out with me. I ain't seen them in 15 years and shit. And I'm over here like making excuses. I still do that actually to this day. I'm
yeah,
very social and introverted. I like to be online. I like doing this. That's why it works for me because I have online friends my what we call our visionaries community or freedom visionaries, whatever. And these are our people, but it's all through the phone, and I like that. When it
Right.
comes to person, I get weird. Like I'm not very I don't know how to explain it. I just it's not there yet. I think I got to work on my skills.
It takes time, man. I think I've been home. January 13th will be 6 years. I didn't start feeling like all the way normal till like the end of 2023. Like in 2021 or 2020, 2021 was crazy because I came home to the pandemic and just a lot, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Um, yeah, bro, that was what? Anybody that came home after incarceration to the pandemic, man, shout out to y'all for making it through, man. I
Yeah,
say
for
that every single time.
I
Yeah,
was in
that was,
Lake
that's
Erie.
part of the reason. That's why I lost my mind. I didn't lose it in there. I was waiting for 17 years for freedom, and I was like, man, it's gonna be easy. Well, easier.
Yeah,
Walk right into the end of the earth.
man.
Right? Yeah, man. It
Yeah, you're
was,
over here like, damn, I get out and it feels like the world's ending. We're living in like that.
bro. The news they're talking about the dark. We're headed into the dark winter, and it was a crazy time, man. But
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is.
uh,
Um, yeah, I know. I
you,
was level twos and level threes, and during the time that I was dealing with that, it was in Lake Erie, and it was a lot going on. People were stressed, missing their families. All that George Floyd stuff was going on. So during that time period, it was like so bad on the prison system.
yeah, man.
It was a messed up situation.
With the people though, you'll get used. You know how you're gonna get used to it. You're gonna start going to these events, and people are gonna be like, "Yo, we need you to come here and here." That's what happened to me. Like all of a sudden, I got a call one day. They're like, I was like, "Am I gonna let my nerves, or am I gonna go?" And I hopped on that flight and didn't look back, man. And I could
Mm,
see you speaking at events and everything, bro.
I appreciate that, man. I actually would do that and push through to that. I saw a video, two things to touch on it. One of the day you got out, getting in the car,
Mm,
whoever your
sure.
family was, they were in the car.
Yeah,
And I a night and day difference from walking out of that environment to where you are now, in a good way because I can relate. And then on that, I seen the video of you shaking somebody's hand at some prison, I think.
yeah.
And last thing I want to say on that is, I've actually been in contact with a retired CO, Hogs, that I know, and he's talked about if he knew the right connections, would we go back into the prisons here in
Mhm.
Ohio and talk to people? It's been something we've like, you know what I mean, kind of
Man,
touched.
definitely, man. Shout out to Ohio. Like I said, I'm headed to I think it's London Correctional Center, man. I want to make sure I got that right. But
Yeah,
um yeah, I'm excited, man. Definitely. That'll be my first stop traveling again for 2026. So,
have to
you
get
know.
some past being a convicted felon or what or no?
Man, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you this. It's a good reputation beats it all, man. And
Okay,
there's been plenty of opportunities that came to me that I probably shouldn't have been able to get into,
mm,
but I worked really hard at networking and showing up to events and connecting with people and asking for meetings. So when those no's came, I always had somebody that advocated for me and got me in there. A couple of prisons, my gain points were so high in VA, they would let me go to this prison but not this prison. I think a couple of guys still had me on enemy lists or whatever, even though I'm
oh,
42 now. Yeah, and it's the craziest thing. Anybody that's hearing me talk about this, by the way, not glorifying, I'm 42, but the system, they'll still label you as what you were 20 years ago.
that
And you
crazy.
could be free. Right. I've opened up a school. I got a in the paper for my non, but I got some good people that, get me through. So
I've wondered about that. I went home STG'd in Ohio. It's 3 levels. I was a level 3 close security
yeah,
mate, but a level 2 STG, which is right in the middle. And then I went home and I've tried to put that life behind me. So
yeah,
I don't it's still there. I don't know. I've wondered if that's gonna hinder things. I don't know.
yeah.
I
I just
like
right.
to
Yeah. Be proactive and keep doing what you're doing and get it pardoned. None of that on my so shout out to everybody that got pardons when they came home to show other people they can do it too, man. If you're a convicted felon, you can get all your stuff pardoned, expunged. Once you're home, you go through the process and you're out long enough, man.
heard this. I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Man, listen, that 30 went by quick, man. We might have to do a round two. We might have to do another one, man.
I'd like
Um Packy. But it's Packy Visions TV, man. First, I want to shout out to this platform, man. Make sure y'all check out Packy Visions TV. I'm excited, man. It was a great conversation. Shout out to the brothers that's coming home and with got families and kids and doing the things that they need to do. Thank you for being transparent, bro. I want to tell you that on my platform in front of everybody for telling your truth up here, man. Being a voice, being authentic in you, man. Um, What's a message you got for the people, man, before we get off on this one?
Before I forget, I want to say shout out to my fiance and everything she did for me and our three about to be four kids. And then Monique and Monique Swanger is her Facebook. She does this too. So if you guys want to check her out. And then with the message to the people, I would just literally say, man, just for real, be yourself. Don't, try to be like other people. I used to do that. I've always been a follower. I wanted to be like everybody around me. And I've learned that no matter what people like think about you, don't let it bother you. Be genuine when no one's looking. That's what I was gonna say. I have talks with God. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. But when it's just you by yourself, be the same person and try to and look at it like as if the universe is watching you. That's how I do it. And when no one else is there to get the credit for it, I feel like a good person when I lay my head down at night because I know I don't never change. So that's, I guess, what I would probably say to that.
No, that's golden. That's golden. Live your life like you got the camera on you at all time, however
Right.
it is, man. For real.
And
Yo,
and you know what I mean. I believe in the yin and the yang, good and bad. Try to have that good balance and let the good win, the light win.
yeah, man. I'm glad you able to come on the platform, another positive conversation. Because sometimes people don't know, man. We can come home from prison and be really chill, like really laid back. We just trying to be a voice, help people. You know what I'm saying? Make sure our family's good. So thank you for what I'm saying, getting up here for that reason as well, man. Um, to each and every one of y'all on the platform, man. We supposed to go 7 p.m. with Lil B, the youngest juvenile lifer in the state of Georgia, man. aka Prince of the Bluff. But we're gonna go ahead and do something different on Monday, man. We're gonna take it to the Bluff in the A. We're gonna be going live and we getting ready to do these hood vlogs. So we'll see y'all then, man. This is the Stay Free Show. Packy Vision said, "Come to Ohio." I'm coming out Ohio. My brother live in Akron. He said
40
get busy out there.
does, yeah, it's
I
40 minutes
already know. I already know, man. I don't
down.
want to go to Ohio. Ohio, I want to go, but I don't want to go to the trenches. I
Yeah,
watched the Tommy G joint. It just seems different. Like if you're not, it's like
it,
one of them cities you got to know what's going on out there. I
right.
could
And
tell.
together, it's like you be in the hood, and it's like the black dudes running with the white dudes. Everybody's on
Right.
one. That's just how Ohio is. It's not like West Coast where it's like all separated and shit. Our state really ain't like that, and the city's got bad inner city. But yeah, you'll be all right. Especially
Yeah.
man, handle yourself. They ain't gonna be on nothing like that. You're carrying good light with you. I
I'm gonna
could tell.
go. Yeah, I'm super positive. Y'all see me in the hood out there. No, I'm bringing love. Y'all already know, man. We building with the youth out there. We doing something. But yeah, man. Shout out to you, Packy, again, man. Make sure y'all check out Packy Visions TV, man. Make sure y'all check this out. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Links in the bio.